मॉर्निंग में ऐसी हालत है, लंच के बाद क्या होगा. So I am one of the lucky ones who have got the morning session. So thank you for the introduction. My name is Dr. Prashant Gupta. I represent Plast India International University over here. Thank you to the Polymer Connect team for reaching out to our university, for having someone from the academia talk to people who are in the industry. So a very a different sort of flavor to this August gathering where we have all the industrialists sitting here. So in this lecture we'll have an academic perspective of when you are doing recycling, what do generally people do. A lot of you might be doing it, a lot of you actually know the science behind it, some might not as well. So we'll try and clear this out during the session. So you can see on the screen, this is our beautiful building of the School of Engineering, which is at Plast India International University, Vapi. I'll take 30 seconds to introduce our university, and then we'll dive straight into the topic. So Plast India International University has been set up by the Plast India Foundation to ensure that the right skill is there for the people who require it in the industry. So that has been the motto. We are running 2 programs right now. We are just into the second year of our operations. We are running BTech in Plastics and Polymer Engineering and BTech in Computer Science and Engineering. And we are situated in Vapi, which is considered to be if you take 30 kilometers in and around from the crossroads of Vapi, we'll have probably the largest processing cluster of our country. So we are talking about converters being present there, right? So when it comes to conversion, recycling becomes a pretty important option. That is what we are going to talk about today. So this is what we'll cover as a part of today's session. We'll look at classification of additives, very important, because we'll keep talking about different types of additives, different categories of additives. So we'll not try and set the tone, trying to understand what additives actually are and how they are classified. We'll look at real case studies of certain materials, PP, PVC, and some other companies who are doing well in recycling and what they are trying to do with what they are actually doing. Look at the best practices for implementing mechanical recycling, which is very important, and some future trends as well. We have already understood by now that there is a lot of ingress of AI, ML, IoT, big data, data analytics, which has been very, very important part of what we do today, not just for plastics, for every sector or for every domain in particular. So when we talk about categorizing additives, we look at 2 broad categories. One is polymer stabilizers, which are pretty important for whatever we do, because without which the whole thing will come crashing down. So stabilizers are known to stabilize the polymer during what we call as processing. So they are an essential entity to be added whenever we try and process our polymer, because unlike other materials, there is the involvement of temperature where we want to take the granules down to giving any shape. So there have to be melt involved in the process. So that is where stabilizers come into use. So they maintain the inherent properties. So they will help you. Just we were talking about rotomolding and why it is a better product, being no stress is present because it's a non-pressure process. So you'll find in the same way, when we talk about a materials perspective, you will find that whenever they are exposed to any particular severe conditions like heat, for example, you will find that there would be some kind of stresses that will be involved, some pressure as well. So they will come out someday or the other, maybe sooner than later. And these are additives where we ensure that you're not having that breakage or that fracture earlier than later. That is something that you have not anticipated. One very important thing again is the color. So we buy anything based on the aesthetics. We go to a store and we have 5 different options of the same product, same design, same quality. The selection choices will be based on which color we like the most, which color people would like the most when the product is on me. So aesthetics becomes an important part, and other characteristics as well. So naturally, when we look at degradation in any product, we are talking about oxidative degradation. You take a bite from the apple and you keep it on the desk, you will find that it will turn yellow after a certain period of time. So cream will turn into yellow. That is nothing but oxidative degradation because of the auto-oxidation process due to the oxygen that is present in air, right? We breathe oxygen. There is a lot of oxygen in the environment. Nitrogen is more than oxygen, but nitrogen is considered to be the inert gas which doesn't participate with the with anything out here, right? In the same way, it is also called that we are being oxidized. That is how we are aging, right? A lot of features change on us, be it our face, be it the way we look and everything. So by preventing the oxidative degradation which are caused by high temperature during processing, so this is about, conversion process, and then we talk about the service. Then we talk about where we are going to use it, how we are going to use it. So the oxidative degradation due to UV will be more pronounced when the product is being used outside. But it would be much lesser when you are going to look at the product being used inside, but it will still be there. You can look at computers being used, keyboards if they are white. It's an interior application, but they will change color. You can look at white products like some kind of exhaust housings inside your house. They will turn yellow after a certain amount of use. You can look at your air conditioning bodies. They will tend to turn yellow in 3 or 4 products. That is how we understand it has gone old. Though the performance of the product is still intact, but we'll feel purana ho gaya, naya lena chahiye, right? It is still giving you the use, but it feels old. The second part is because of which polymers are used in a lot of different applications. Take for example polyethylene or polypropylene rather. It would be better if I take the example of polypropylene. So polypropylene, if we take, we call it a commodity polymer, right? With the virtue of how it is used and in what quantities it is used. So if I say I want to use polypropylene in automotive, let's keep aside that it is currently being used, but when you look at the properties of polypropylene, tensile strength, impact strength and all, and if I say I want to use polypropylene for an engineering application where wear, tear and stress is going to come on the part more often than not, and somebody will call me a madman. Are you mad? Why are you thinking of polypropylene being used? Because it doesn't suffice the properties. But then I add something which opens up a different area of application of the product which was not existing earlier. So polypropylene being used with a lot of fillers these days. In automotive, it has been used for quite some time now. But if I ask you that I want to use polypropylene under the hood, do you think it can be used? Under the hood, automotive application under the hood. The continuous service temperatures may require up to 150 degrees centigrade. Difficult to use, right? Polypropylene has an HDT of around 69 or 70, and then you add fillers into it. Certainly, definitely would not reach up to 150 degrees centigrade. People are doing research on heat stabilizers where polypropylene can be taken up to 150 service temperatures as well. So may not be very far, the day may not be very far where we are practically talking about polypropylene used inside the hood as well. So these are additives which opens up a new avenue altogether. 50 ton का business कर रहे हैं, but अब यूजेज हो गया, कंपनीज बढ़ेगी, जैसे पॉपुलेशन बढ़ेगी ग्रोथ होगा, इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन बढ़ेगा ग्रोथ होगा, और कंपनीज आएगी 50 से देयर वुड बी अ सर्टेन रेट एट विच वी आर लुकिंग एट द CAGR एज वेल. सो वो बढ़ेगा. बट कैन आई ओपन अप समथिंग जहाँ पर आज यूज नहीं हो रहा था विद डूइंग R&D एंड ऑल, एंड अनदर 50 टन्स ओपन अप every month or every day or whatever it is. So that is where we are talking about adding something जो उसकी functionality को improve करता है, right? Although it's a very knowledgeable gathering, but imagine कीजिए कि प्लास्टिक के वायर्स, अगर वायर के एप्लीकेशन में, केबल के एप्लीकेशन में प्लास्टिक नहीं होता तो कैन यू थिंक ऑफ अ सिंगल मटेरियल जो वहां पर यूज हो सकता. टेक 5 seconds एंड थिंक. अगर प्लास्टिक नहीं यूज करते हम केबल इंसुलेशन के लिए, वुड वी हैव बीन एबल टू यूज एनीथिंग एल्स? सो इंसुलेशन प्रोवाइड करता है, लेट्स हैव वुड, कर सकते हैं यूज. व्हाट अबाउट रोलिंग इट? व्हाट अबाउट रोलिंग दी वायर? 100 मीटर वायर मिलता है रोल में हमें. वुड इट बी पॉसिबल? इट वुड नॉट बी पॉसिबल, राइट? सो फंक्शनैलिटी इंप्रूव करने की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. So they are added to further improve the mechanical strength of plastics or impart new properties like flexibility or flame retardancy, thereby expanding a range of application of plastics and their commercial value. Look at certain examples of products being used as either functionalizing agents or polymer stabilizers before we go ahead. So these are stabilizers which are known to be protective in nature, protection of the polymer. So processability improve करने के लिए we are talking about antioxidants. They are a very integral part of any polyolefin compound that you process because they tend to oxidize. The structure is such, they tend to oxidize sooner than other polymers. So anti-O2s are going to be a crucial junction or crucial part. So antioxidants can be phosphorus type or the conventional, which is the phenol antioxidant that people generally use. There can be stabilizers for PVC. Now they go into the category of heat stabilization because PVC एक ऐसा पॉलीमर है जहाँ पर शायद उसका डिग्रेडेशन टेम्परेचर उसकी प्रोसेसिंग रेंज के नीचे है. So मैं प्रोसेस ही नहीं कर पाऊंगा. It will rapidly undergo hydrogenation reactions and you will get HCl liberating out of your plant, fumes everywhere. Every labor in the plant is sort of fainting and falling down, right? So you have to add something which makes PVC processable. So those are the heat stabilizers. The one which are very popular are the calcium zinc type, and then for flexible PVC there is barium zinc as well in the mix, right? Then we are looking at durability improvement again. So antioxidants are of two types. There is primary antioxidant, there are secondary antioxidants. Secondary are the ones which you use during the processing, and primary are the ones which will give you a protection when we are talking about the service of the product, the actual life of the product. So phenol and thiester type, you want to prevent metal catalyzed degradation. So this comes into picture where your part is going to get exposed to metals or metal ions. Take for example cable applications. So cable mein the jacket is going to have a metal material inside the plastic insulation material, right? You can talk about applications जहाँ पर we are talking about concealing pipes, concealing cables, where again मिट्टी है contact में, and we all know that it contains a lot of minerals, a lot of ions which are present there. You can talk about insert molding where screws and all are inside the polymeric material, maybe nylon. मिक्सर के जार के नीचे का जो चक्कर आता है नीचे, there will be a metal insert which is molded inside, right? You wouldn't find आगे जाते हुए क्रैक होके निकला, वहाँ पर जंग लगा हुआ है पार्ट में, and then it might have broken because of the degradation which is catalyzed by metal ions. They are the ones which are known as the catalyst of even the polymerizations. So metal deactivators are used, hydrazide and amide type. Then you have weatherability improvement. Exposure के time पे protection मिलना चाहिए, right? So you have ultraviolet absorbers. So you are just talking about carbon black, an excellent ultraviolet absorber. So it will absorb all the UV light and it will dissipate it in the form of another energy, which is generally heat. Any black surface that we touch, we feel it is hot, more hot than any other thing. That is the prime reason why we wear white in summers. It absorbs the light, harmful radiations ko absorb karke it will dissipate it in the form of heat. So benzotriazole type and triazine type, there are HALs which are hindered amine light stabilizers. So whatever UV we are generally using, it's a package of 2 or 3 type of different UV additives put together. So it's a package, right? Then we are talking about modifying additives. So flexibility badhani hai, PVC use plasticizers. You want to increase the flame retardancy, there are 2 to 3 different chemistries. ROHS approved product hai, go for chemistry which is non-halogenated in nature. ROHS approved nahi hai, you can go towards halogenated chemistries as well, right? There are brominated epoxies which are present that you can utilize. There are intumescent type, phosphorus types are there, halogenated and inorganic additives are also used as flame retardants. मुझे physical property बढ़ानी है. I want to increase something which strength के को related अगर मुझे कुछ करना है, I can use nucleating agents. So नाम में ही पता चल रहा है, हम सब ने atom molecule पढ़ा हुआ है कहीं ना कहीं, right? So it creates this particle creates a nucleus and then polymer chains rearrange themselves around this nucleus. What it basically does is it rearranges the polymer structure a little towards the crystalline side, thereby increasing the strength of the material. So crystalline materials will tend to have more strength than the amorphous counterparts, which are known to have more flexibility in nature, rubbers being amorphous. Then you have fillers. Fillers भी एक हद तक nucleating agent का काम करते हैं, because again we are talking about particulate materials. They will form a nucleus and then polymer chains will rearrange around it. And then there are compatibilizing agents as well. So rubbers again are good compatibilizers. There are silanes as well which are present. So reactive or non-reactive type. Transparency बढ़ानी है मुझे. If I want to increase transparency, I'll go towards clarifying agents. PP is one of the benefiters out of clarifying agents. So phosphate metal type and sorbitol type. Then you have anti-static property enhancements, a very important component of rotomolding compound, anti-statics, because powder brushing होगा inside the mold when it is falling onto the bed, the material is falling onto the bed, and you will find that there would be a lot of brushing because of which static charges will get generated. So what these materials would do is they'll form a conductive layer on top of the material. जैसे ये conductive layer आती है, charge store होने का सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता. So charge will never get stored on top of the material surface. So it will dissipate, static generate होगा लेकिन रहेगा नहीं surface के ऊपर. And then we have the lubricity enhancements. So lubricants can be hydrocarbon types of waxes are the well-known lubricants that you'll find out there. A lot of master batch manufacturers use waxes. Then there are metallic soap types as well. Now we'll get into so this was about what additives are, because we are going to interchangeably use these terminologies again and again, and in general what are the additives which are used for making polymers. शायद हमने जो देखे अभी वो तो हम बात कर रहे हैं कि फर्स्ट टाइम स्टेबलाइजेशन करना है. नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट रिसाइकलिंग इट्स नॉट प्रीटी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट टाइम स्टेबलाइजेशन. कैन एनीवन टेल मी व्हाई? बिकॉज दीज आर अगेन, जब जैसे ही वो मटेरियल यूज होके लूप में वापस आया ना, दीज आर अगेन बेबीज. You will have to again care and nurture for them right from the start, right? So you will have to treat the material as if it doesn't have anything in it, right? Of course it depends on what is going to be the final cost of the product, but you will have to nurture it again right from the get-go, right? So market growth is there due to increased market of recycled plastics. I was talking to certain people and they were they were not very happy with how the market is asking, or the government is asking to include certain percentage of recycled material, because when we talk about the sector it is particularly not organized at all, right? Even if you want to import plastics from outside the country, recycled material, I guess you'll have to bring it in flakes only. It cannot be coming in as a waste, right? That is where, so you'll find a lot of people saying हम waste देते हैं आपको, but you will not be able to import that waste, because the government doesn't allow to import anything which is termed as waste. So restabilization is necessary with the virtue of what is already present, and it is very very difficult to determine what is already present. तो आपके पास let's say 500 kgs of PET के flakes आए flake form में, तो will we be able to understand कि उसको कितने साल तक यूज किया गया है? जो बॉटल्स आए, फ्लेक्स आए आपके पास, इट वुड बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट, राइट? जिसके पास ये फ्लेकिंग के प्रोसेस के लिए बॉटल्स आते हैं, एक बॉटल अच्छा है, एक बॉटल घिसा हुआ है, एक बॉटल येलो है, इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड द एज ऑफ एक्सपोजर ऑफ दैट मटीरियल. अगर वो पता होता मुझे तो आई वुड हैव सेव्ड सम मनी ओवर हियर, because overdosage as well creates some unnecessary side reactions which I don't want to have in my process. So concentration of active stabilizers in the waste material and long-term requirements for thermal or photo stability. We all want our product to be durable, right? Even if it is recycled, we want our product to be durable, at least more durable than the competitor's product, right? So there are two types of additives which may be used to achieve the goal. One that enhances the properties recovered from waste, and second that facilitates the recycling process. आपने मटेरियल ग्रैन्यूल ऐड कर दिया एक्सट्रूजन में, स्टैंड ही नहीं बना पा रहा है, मेल्ट स्ट्रेंथ ही नहीं है स्टैंड बनाने की. विल इट वर्क? इट वोंट वर्क, राइट? So scrap plastic waste can be considered as a virgin polymer from a stabilization point of view, and it is restabilized prior to reprocessing as the virgin material. The one thing that I told just now. For example, PP with 0.05% of hindered phenol with hydrolysis resistant phosphite shows good effect, with phosphite exhibiting inhibition to degradation up to 5 passes of extrusion. Now this is an experimental value. When you actually want to use it, this might not work as it is. Where जब experiment की बात आती है, निकाल लिया उसको, क्या बोलते हैं, कंडीशन किया, वापस साइकिल से निकाला, कंडीशन किया, वापस साइकिल से निकाला, एंड एप्लीकेशन में एक्चुअली ऐसे नहीं होता है. सो यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फर्स्ट रिसाइकलिंग, फ्लावर पॉट्स बन गए, बेच गए, अब वो क्रैश होके वापस आ रहे. इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि फर्स्ट टाइम रिसाइकल का प्रोडक्ट मेरे पास आ रहा है या सेकेंड टाइम रिसाइकल का प्रोडक्ट मेरे पास आ रहा है. इट्स जस्ट लाइक एज आई टोल्ड यू कि आपके पास बॉटल्स आ रही है, आपको नहीं पता 1 साल यूज़ हुई है, 2 साल यूज़ हुई है, या सिर्फ 2 दिन में क्रश की गई है. So antioxidant blends of 0.2 to 0.3% phenolics restabilizes HDP bottle waste successfully. So these are certain, अभी तक हमने जो देखे थे वो जनरल एडिटिव्स थे. ये एडिटिव्स है जो रीस्टेबिलाइजेशन के लिए काम में आते हैं, रीप्रोसेसिंग के लिए काम में आते हैं. So Interlite, which is a calcium zinc combined stabilizer, works for PVC flooring and PVC profile applications. and the role of the additive is to co-stabilize the PVC material. So we are talking about PVC के carpeting के लिए जो PVC use होता है, which is flexible in nature. Erganox 245 antioxidant used for polystyrene yogurt pots. So हम देखते हैं कि ये yogurt के pots, दही के cups वगैरह, आइसक्रीम के cups वगैरह, they tend to get yellow by time, right? So when you add certain material into it, it will reduce the yellowness by 25%. Then there is a combination, Ergastab CZ 2000 stabilizer, which is a calcium zinc combination used for PVC window profiles, and it reduces the yellowness index of your recyclate, post-consumer recyclate. A mixture of Ergafos 168 and Erganox 1010 in a ratio of 4:1 at a concentration of 0.3% in PET. Now PET is known to be shear sensitive in nature, right? So what happens is, आप virgin PET लीजिए, you pass it through a extrusion cycle, you will find that the MFI goes up, right? So what it means is the chains are basically breaking down, right? So you have to add something to it, which is called as, we'll look at it later on, which is called as chain coupler, something of that sort, where the chains which are broken down, there is still some intermediate in between which is holding the chains together and not allowing it to break from that certain point. So in PET, it retains the intrinsic viscosity up to 5 cycles. So intrinsic viscosity retention is a very important parameter. नहीं तो what will happen is आपका melt flow index इतना बढ़ जाएगा कि आप extrusion ही नहीं कर पाओगे. May be suiting for injection molding, but then injection molding होने के बाद जब वो part आएगा, the molecular weight has gone down because of chain scission, and because of that what is happening is the properties have also gone down and deteriorated. Then there is encapsulated rubber by the name of EXI 3600 added to low molecular weight PC, another polyester. So polyesters are known to be shear and heat sensitive in nature. So when you add rubber into polyester, obviously rubber का जो MFI है, it is on the very lower side. I mean it is very sluggish. Rubbers are generally very sluggish when you compare it with polymers. ज़्यादा ताकत लगती है उनको process करने के लिए. So restoration of melt strength comparable to virgin material, and 20% addition of this rubber results in an increase from 50 to 300 joules per meter. Impact strength बढ़ाता है. EXI 5375 PET, it helps in restoring the electrical property. So PET where goes in blends in electrical applications. And BRC 200 compatibilizer, it helps in compatibilizing mixed plastics waste. So that is boosts impact strength higher than that of single component in injection molded plastics. Now what happens is, when you add certain chemicals, they might be acidic, they might be basic, they may induce reactions like hydrolysis. So hydrolysis, though the word is complex, basically we are talking about water का क्या water, अगर if I expose my plastic to water, what will happen? So obviously bottle में plastic plastic की bottle में पानी है, right? And you will find even if I dip water में plastic को अगर मैं dip भी करता हूँ, nothing happens, right? Does anything happen to plastic? It may happen if the conditions are not like what they are right now. If you take the pH up or if you take the pH down, then there might be certain. Of course, it is going to be a slow process. So PET or polyesters are known to be hydrolyzable in nature. So PET is hydrolyzable. There is a chemical recycling step wherein you can use either acidic conditions or you can use basic conditions to hydrolyze polyethylene terephthalate. X-rays आते थे, आज भी आते हैं rather, right? So PET is used along with silver. So silver है, मतलब it's a high value product. उसको अगर मुझे recycle करना है तो PET is going to be my byproduct, because what I am more focused on what? Silver, right? So silver is going to be my primary product, but at the same time what I'll do is I'll take out PET as well. So when you talk about something like this, chemical recycling is very popular. We are talking about hydrolysis in either acidic or basic conditions. You get monomers back, pure terephthalic acid, you get it back, right? So there are certain addition of certain chemicals which might be acidic or basic may induce hydrolysis, ionization or decomposition of polymers. We know a lot of products either on the acidic or the basic side. Acidic side पे acids ही होते हैं, basic side पे पूरी दुनिया होती है. जैसे कि क्या basic products है हमारे घर में? Detergents, any detergent. Cleaning के लिए या तो acidic चाहिए या फिर basic चाहिए. Acidic use नहीं कर सकते, क्यों? जहाँ use कर सकते हैं वहाँ करेंगे. जैसे हार्पिक हो गया, टॉयलेट क्लीनर है, वहाँ हाथ की ज़रूरत नहीं है, राइट? लेकिन जहाँ हाथ की ज़रूरत है, आपके डिटर्जेंट्स हो गए और डिश वॉश सोप्स, सो ऑल दीज आर गोइंग टू हैव basic formulation rather than acidic formulation, right? So we store plastics in a lot of, we store these materials in a lot of plastic products. So along with this, excitation by heat, light or high energy radiations and propagation of this excited state to polymer chain or oxygen molecule forming singlet oxygen. Generally degradation hota kaise hai? So by this time we understand, or if you have not understood, everything happens due to oxygen. Everything, every kind of degradation out there, oxygen is playing some or the other part, maybe a prominent part. शुरू कैसे होगा? शुरू ऑक्सीजन की वजह से नहीं हो सकता. शुरू कैसे होगा? By the exposure of heat, by the exposure of light, by the exposure of mechanical stress, by the exposure of humidity, by the exposure of environment. पूरा का पूरा weathering test करते हैं हम. So we try and simulate the environment out there. Yes or no? Right? So anything that is going to happen because of the oxygen, but there are going to be some catalyzing factors which are going to start this degradation. That is where we are talking about excitation. So excitation of the molecule. So इस excitation की वजह से we get something which is known as a free radical, right? And when it goes to a singlet oxygen है class का सबसे शैतान बच्चा है. सबसे शैतान बच्चा है, उसको अकेले को बात नहीं करने को होगा, तो he will try and find out someone who will talk to him, and then this chain will keep on growing until and unless पूरा का पूरा class बात कर रहे हैं. So that is what we are talking about, the propagation of degradation reactions within the polymer molecule. So results to sensitize degradation can happen via the action of sensitizers. ये present होते हैं polymer में. हमने देखा एक metal deactivator हमने बताया था additive. उसका रीजन यही है कि ये प्रेजेंट होते हैं कहीं ना कहीं. सो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इनऑर्गेनिक मेटल ऑक्साइड्स. सो इनऑर्गेनिक मेटल ऑक्साइड्स, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट प्रेजेंस ऑफ जिंक, टाइटेनियम इज ऑल्सो देयर, TiO2 इज ऑल्सो देयर. So you'll have to be sure of what kind of reactions these materials are going to carry out in your mix. Then metal ions and metal salts, iron dithiocarbamate, magnesium, manganese, iron वगैरह, these are present in the soil. Anything which is coming from the soil, for example clay is coming from the soil. इसके अलावा भी there are lot of materials, जैसे हमने बात की है applications की, जहाँ पर किसी न किसी तरह का direct exposure है either soil और environment के साथ. And metal ions are something which is present in the nature, right? Then there are carbonyl compounds. Carbonyl compounds are lower molecular weight compounds होते हैं, which again this is again some kind of a candidate where you know they'll try and combine with a chain, उसको ब्रेक करने की कोशिश करेंगे, फिर दूसरी चेन को पकड़ेंगे, उसको ब्रेक करने की कोशिश करेंगे, और तब तक तोड़ते रहेंगे जब तक पॉलीमर पूरा डिग्रेड नहीं हो गया है. हमें कैसे पता चलता है? जो पहला इंडिकेटर होता है वो होता है कलर चेंज का. व्हाइट प्रोडक्ट है, येलो दिख रहा है, या फिर लाइट रेड कलर था, डार्क रेड दिख रहा है, या फिर कोई भी कलर है, इट इज गोइंग टुवर्ड्स द डार्क साइड. एंड देन इवेंचुअली इट माइट बी अ केस वेयर यू माइट फाइंड कि प्रोडक्ट गिर के टूट गया. इट हैपेंस इन किचन ऑल द टाइम. पुराने प्रोडक्ट होने के बाद किचन, यू टॉक अबाउट इम्पैक्ट रेजिस्टेंट ग्रेड्स, टॉक अबाउट समथिंग लाइक अ मिक्सर जार. 1 साल 2 साल 3 साल गिरा है, काफ़ी बार कुछ नहीं हुआ, लेकिन एक बार गिरा और ब्रेक हो गया, विच इज द मटीरियल हैज टर्न्ड ब्रिटल बिकॉज द इलोंगेशनल प्रॉपर्टीज आर लॉस्ट ड्यू टू द पॉलीमर डिग्रेडेशन. पहले क्या होता था, पॉलीमर की चेन खिंचती थी और वापस अपनी जगह पे आ जाती थी. अब क्या हो रहा है, बिकॉज वो चेन ब्रेक हो गई, खिंचने के साथ ही वो चेन टूट जाएगी. दैट इज व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. And there are photosensitive additives as well. So these are materials which get activated by the action of light or photons which are present in the light, right? So these are materials जैसे fluorescent pigments हो गए आपके, so they will take energy from the light and they will get sensitized. So इसी तरह से there are a lot of chromophoric species which are available. Chromophoric, the word is very simple to understand. These are species which will take in light, take in energy. There are going to be a lot of recycling additives. There are peroxides or viscosity modifiers. So we had a discussion regarding peroxide on the group as well. A lot of negative impacts due to peroxides, but they are used in the industry. If you are okay to give away some of the properties that you actually want in the product. And then there are viscosity modifiers which are the alternatives of peroxides. There are antioxidants, chain extenders are there. So I was talking to you about polyethylene terephthalate, right? Then there are elastomers, rubbers. impact strength बढ़ानी है. एक चीज़ है जो टाइम जाने के साथ कम हो जाती है because material has turned brittle. There are colorants, very important. पुराने प्रोडक्ट को नया दिखाना है, क्या करेंगे, पेंट कर देंगे. So works out in the metal sector, but for us we are talking about you'll have to inherently paint the product from the inside by doing compounding. And there are performance modifiers, there are nucleating agents. अच्छा प्रोडक्ट का अपीयरेंस बढ़ाना है, वाइट दिखाना है, यू यूज ऑप्टिकल ब्राइटनेस. We look at first case, that is PET recycling. So bottles discolor after melting and reforming. Other causes of color shifting may include lower levels of residual nylon from a subordinate product from multi-layer bottles. Antioxidants are desirable. You want antioxidants to be there, which scavenges free radicals and inhibit the oxidation process. So scavenger मतलब they consume these free radicals and convert, उसके साथ selectively react करेंगे पॉलीमर के अंदर जो free radicals बने हैं और उसको inert product में convert कर देंगे जो further participate नहीं करेगा आपके process के दरमियान, right? And they inhibit. So इस process में क्या होगा, जब आप उसको consume कर ले रहे हैं तो आपका जो degradation होने वाला था वो नहीं होगा. Another strategy of offsetting the yellow tint is you add shades of blue. This is what we have been doing for quite some time now, at least what I have seen. Our generation, I have not seen it happening, but white kapdon mein we add this ujala dye. So that is a clear way of understanding that white ko yellow nahi dikhana hai, isliye I am adding blue, because blue keeps it near to white, right? So we all know color spectrophotometer mein there is this spectrum LAB mein, which is one side it is blue, the other side it is yellow. So yellow nahi dikhana hai to usko blue ki taraf leke jao, so it will look more like white if there is not too much blue in it. Another issue with recycled PET bottles is the breakdown of the polymer chain that occurs when the resin passes through multiple heat cycles. So MFI बढ़ जाएगा आपका. Start हुआ है आपका extrusion grade से और अपने आप ही शायद इंजेक्शन ग्रेड पे पहुंच जाएगा, राइट? सो यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट मल्टीपल पॉलीइथिलीन टेरेप्थलेट्स एज वेल, लो एमएफआई, हाई एमएफआई, यू कंबाइन जब तक आपको सबसे सस्ता ग्रेड नहीं मिल जाता है. एज द चेंज डिग्रेड अंडर रिपीटेड रीमेल्टिंग एंड रीप्रोसेसिंग, जो पेट का आईवी हम बोलते हैं, विच इज इंट्रिंसिक विस्कोसिटी. So this is a viscosity which is different to what we generally use, that is MFI, right? So the intrinsic viscosity of the PET drops as a measure of the molecular weight. IV will help you understand. Simple चीज़ है, viscosity high है मतलब क्या है, molecular weight strong है मतलब ज़्यादा है, complexity ज़्यादा है, जितनी ज़्यादा complexity होगी उतनी ही ज़्यादा strength होगी, right? जितनी कम complexity होगी उतनी simple. So when we talk about eating food, हम लोगों ने काफ़ी देखा होगा ये कि कुछ चीज़ें हमें लगती है और होती भी है कि पचती नहीं है जल्दी, डाइजेस्ट नहीं होती है जल्दी, राइट? व्हाई इज इट लाइक दैट? हैव यू एवर थॉट ऑफ व्हाई एक चीज़ जल्दी पच रही है दूसरी जल्दी नहीं पच रही है? बिकॉज वी ईट अ लॉट ऑफ पॉलीमर्स. पॉलीमर्स आर ओमनी प्रेजेंट अराउंड अस. वी आर जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट द सिंथेटिक वर्ल्ड. वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द bio-based world at all. Cellulose, it is polymeric. Starch, potato wheat, corn wheat, it is polymeric, right? So जो जल्दी पचती नहीं है वो ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स है. जितना ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी उतना ही ज़्यादा आपके फैक्ट्री को काम करना पड़ेगा, शरीर को काम करना पड़ेगा उसको तोड़ने के लिए. बिकॉज इफ यू वांट द न्यूट्रिएंट्स टू बी एब्जॉर्ब, द थिंग हैज टू बी ब्रोकन डाउन इनसाइड आवर बॉडी. दैट इज हाउ इट वर्क्स. So high IV is important for optimizing the injection stretch blow molding process as it enable thinner walls. सिंपल चीज़ है, बलून जितना मोटा होगा उतना ही ज़्यादा बड़ा होगा. जितना थिकनेस होगा नॉन इन्फ्लेटेड शेप में, जितना थिकनेस बलून का हाई होगा उतना ही बड़ा होगा. एक जनरल टर्मिनोलॉजी बोल रहा हूँ. ऑफ कोर्स मटेरियल क्या है, कितनी इलास्टिसिटी है, ये सब मैटर करेगा. बट अगर दो बलून्स को कंपेयर करता हूँ, एवरीथिंग सेम, higher thickness will have more inflation power, right? In the same way, when we want to inflate the material more, जब हम blow molding कर रहे हैं, it will be important for the material to have more complexity and more melt strength. अगर chains break हो गई है तो क्या होगा? You will not be able to. So आप देखोगे हर दूसरा तीसरा प्रोडक्ट blow करके फट रहा है. So you will not be able to make the products that you desire. So recyclers use chain extenders such as triphenyl phosphide, pyrometallic dianhydride to raise PET's intrinsic viscosity. So ये क्या करते हैं, ये मटेरियल जो है वो दो चेन्स जो ब्रेक हुई है उनको पकड़ के रखते हैं. So they can be bifunctional or they can be more than having a functionality of more than two as well, right? सिंपल चीज़ है, ये दो चेन्स ही दोनों साइड पे ब्रेक हो गई है. एक फंक्शनैलिटी ने एक चेन को पकड़ा, दूसरी फंक्शनैलिटी दूसरी चेन को पकड़ा. दिस इज हाउ कंडेंसेशन पॉलीमराइजेशन हैपेंस. एडिशन इज प्रीटी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड. इथिलीन 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 इथिलीन. जब मैं बात कर रहा हूँ डाई इथिलीन ग्लाइकॉल एंड टेरेप्थेलिक एसिड को कंबाइन करना है, इट इज नॉट इथिलीन इथिलीन. this is product A, this is product B. I have to combine it. So there is going to be some kind of functionality interaction और कुछ बाहर निकलेगा as a side product, which is the condensation polymerization process. Polypropylene, extruded packaging film and thermoforming consumer products are commonly recycled to create injection molded industrial parts, outdoor furnitures and planters. The primary processes, difference between the processes lie in the melt flow. So when we talk about a product, we generally have to understand कि किस process से वो बना हुआ है, right? If it is from an injection molding and counter way में if it is from extrusion, then both of the materials inherent properties or criteria are going to be different, even if it is CH2 CH3, which is propylene and polypropylene eventually. So extruded and thermoformic products, you require high melt strength, strand बनना चाहिए, preform बनना चाहिए. So you require high melt strength and high molecular weight that reduces the flow of the product. Typically 2 to 10 in an extruded or a thermoformed product. It can be slightly on the lower side as well. It can be up to 5 or 6 as well. And injection molding, we are talking about high melt flow, can be 10 to roughly 50, 55 or 60, which requires मेरा 0.5 mm का कोई recess है, the material should flow inside. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि cold well आ गया, material freeze हो गया, या कहीं पे मटेरियल फ्लो करते करते ऑब्वियसली टेरिस टेम्परेचर नोजल से जिस टेम्परेचर पे निकला था, मोल्ड का टेम्परेचर काफ़ी कम है, सो टेम्परेचर नीचे गिर रहा है और वहाँ तक पहुँचते पहुँचते या वहाँ फिलिंग करने के पहले you have your mold, the channel has cooled off, right? So you will not be able to flow the material. So with an increase in the intrinsic viscosity, you will find your properties going up as well. So to increase the melt flow of recycled PP, you may add a peroxide which severs the polymer chain. So this happens, a lot of people what they do is लेंगे blow molded या rotational molded grades लेंगे polyethylene के, और अब इसकी प्रॉपर्टी अच्छी है, काफ़ी अच्छी है, जो मिलती है उससे तो काफ़ी अच्छी है. सो अगर मुझे इसको इंजेक्शन में यूज़ करना है तो मैं कैसे करूँगा, MFI आपको करने नहीं देगा. तो क्या चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ चाहिए जो MFI को कम कर पाए. सीधी सी बात है, अगर मुझे MFI को बढ़ा पाए, MFI मुझे बढ़ाना है, अगर विस्कोसिटी अगर कम करना है, उसको ऑयल से पानी की तरफ अगर ले जाना है, तो आई विल हैव टू यूज समथिंग विच ब्रेक्स माई चेन्स. नॉट एडवाइजेबल बट recommendable, you can say, right? It will give a trade-off in the properties as well, but you can think of going in that direction. So that is where you can go towards peroxides, though it has adverse effects on PP stiffness and impact properties. So impact properties और stiffness पे अगर adverse effect आ रहा है, you add a compatibilizer into it or you add a rubber based compound into it which works as an impact modifier. The only thing that you will need to be sure is whether it meets the cost requirements or not. Alternatively, a high MFI additive like SEBS block copolymer can be added as well. So there are materials जिनका MFI खुद का ही high है. So add a block copolymer, it has certain amount of content of styrene in it and it will help you increase the flow rate of the material. The elastomers make the recycled resin soft and viscous, reducing its stiffness and the suitability for many applications. There are other materials which are there as well. Milliken is there, from Milliken's Deltamax, one of the compatibilizers is there. So Deltamax compatibilizer is a unique additive that targets 3 separate properties simultaneously, that is MFI, stiffness and impact properties. It works with the peroxide in a controlled rheology process, and after the peroxide breaks the PP chains and reduce the molecular weight and raise the melt flow. ये compatibilizer वो chains को पकड़ता है and it helps in increasing the strength properties that we talked about, impact strength or these properties. Then you can use talc. It's a widely used additive in automotive and appliance parts to increase the stiffness of recycled PP. Advantages of talc include its inexpensive nature. We all know how cheap the material is, and it helps you in increasing the modulus. Tensile नहीं बढ़ाएगा. It is well documented. It doesn't increase the tensile by a little amount, but definitely it would boost the material stiffness, which is the modulus, that is the load bearing property. So recycled PP can be used instead of more expensive virgin or wide specification resins. Air stiffness requirements need to be met. When we talk about MLP, again a big problem. Multi-layer packaging, people are trying a lot to get into monolayer because of the restrictions that have been laid out on multi-layer. So there are certain companies, there is Sepratec GmbH, it's a German company, it is developing an innovative technology to recycle materials with low energy consumption by delaminating these multiple layers. Once they get delaminated, you can process them on an individual basis. This process involves shredding the material followed by creating a micro emulsion with a surfactant. So when you are creating a micro emulsion with a surfactant, you will have then selective ability of the material to go in one phase and to go in the other. So it selectively dissolves or removes the tie layers to promote separation between the layers, and the technique is claimed to be effective in delamination, which are the structures tubes में जो use किए जाते हैं, which is polyethylene aluminum, polypropylene aluminum and PE-PET, by reducing the interlayer forces between these two layers. An Australian company called PVC Separation has developed a product to delaminate multi-layers. In their process, the polymer is swollen in a low boiling solvent and hot water is added to release the desired polymers. And then multi-stage shredding, sorting and dry cleaning system are also reported by WRAP, which results in producing sorted waste film fractions with less contamination and reduced odor from mixed plastic waste. There is a process of selective dissolution as well that can be done. So selective dissolution is like I have two different materials, two different polymeric materials, maybe three tie layer है उस दोनों के बीच में, and then you add it in a single solvent. वो सिंगल सॉल्वेंट तीनों को डिसॉल्व करने के लिए केपेबल होना चाहिए, इस बेसिस पे सिलेक्शन होता है. खाली डिफरेंस ये होगा कि एक मटेरियल एक टेम्परेचर पे जाएगा, दूसरा दूसरे पे जाएगा, तीसरा तीसरे पे जाएगा. सो डिसॉल्व होगा. सो वंस यू रीच अ पर्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर, यू टेक आउट द सॉल्वेंट and put a non-solvent in it, allow the polymer to precipitate. But then it is a costly process. You do the same for the second, you do the same, and the third one is separated out on its own. Addition of additives such as stain extenders, heat stabilizers, processing aids, impact modifiers, filler, cross-linkers or compatibilizers. So a host of additives that you can add. There are companies who have come up even in India who started consuming MLP, trying to create innovative products using this multi-layer packaging, and they are able to sort of bind these metallic layers, which is the problem earlier. So that is where these cross-linker and compatibilizers come into the picture. Compatibilization of the polymer blends can be done by an additive or a non-reactive, that is you can use a block or a graft copolymer, again will have multiple functionalities present in it, or reactive. So reactive functional groups include maleic anhydride, GMA and acrylic acid. So maleic anhydride, we all know it's quite popular for PP. So PP that we use in filled compositions, it is seldom PP ever, it is always maleiated PP. Though maleic anhydride has this double bond present, wherein it gives you the functionalities of one end clinging onto the polymer material and the other end which clings onto the filler that we have, and the filler will have another functionality present. Because filler are inorganic materials, they cannot be tied up on their own, so you'll have to have some kind of functionalization done to filler. Different materials will have different, even if it is glass fiber, PP ka glass fiber is going to be different from PET, because PP's functionality present is going to be different from PET. So we looked at real case studies, we looked at mechanical recycling and some of the companies who are doing work in this. I hope I have completed on time generally, because it is academic side of things, so we teachers tend to overshare more. So I hope it was an informative session. So if anyone wants to reach out, here are the contact details present, and then you can contact the organizing committee as well. I thank you again for the Polyconnect group for inviting us over here, and thank you once again for your time.
Thank you, Doctor, for helping us understand how additives and recycling can transfer polymer. Okay, so since everybody is sitting